The issue about presidential running mates of the PDP and APC has been eliciting a lot of comments. Political analysts say the choice of running mates should be a political advantage to the presidential candidates. But observers say that none of the two running mates are political heavyweights. We had a chat with the PDP former national chairman, Senator Ahmadu Alli.
Where primaries become inconclusive for reasons of either some interference by opposing parties and the panelists cannot continue, they stop voting and they report back to the headquarters that the primary was inconclusive. In that situation, and in the particular position in which the country finds itself, with closing date of INEC, the party has to decide who to give that ticket to.
Let's come back to specifics now. We have reports that in Adamawa and also similar situations in Ogun State, that in Adamawa that we had reports that Malam Noor Ribadu was anointed at the party headquarters, whereas the elections for the primaries took place in Adamawa.
How they arrive at these decisions, which you are mentioning, provided you are right, I will not know.
So now you are a member of the Board of Trustees. Now, what should be the role of the Board of Trustees in controversial situations as this?
There's an appeal panel that is superimposed on the panel that did the job in the field. You take your petition to the appeal panel. Now, if you are not satisfied with the appeal panel, your appeal will go to the National Working Committee. If you are not satisfied, it will go to the National Executive Committee of the party. If you are still not satisfied with the NEC decision, you now go to the Board of Trustees. And there you must be satisfied. If you are not, you go to the National Caucus to put your case across.
Now, the issue of the two running mates of the major contenders of the presidential elections for the 2015 elections, President Goodluck Jonathan, who announced his running mates as architect Ahmadu Sambo and General Muhammadu Buhari, who also announced his running mate recently as Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Now, how do you see these two running mates? Because bookmakers are saying that a running mate should be a political advantage for the contender. Do you see architect Ahmadu Sambo, starting from your party, as a political advantage to President Goodluck Jonathan, bearing the background of reports that some are saying that he is not a heavyweight politically in his geopolitical zone?
As far as we are concerned, Ahmadu Sambo is the correct person for that job. And you cannot tell what is the opinion of the geopolitical zone when you don't even belong there. So anybody writing all these things, they are writing out of theoretical proposals. You see, what I thought you would have mentioned is how APC failed woefully. Within 7 days of Buhari becoming the presidential candidate, they could not name a running mate. In any civilized country, that party has already failed in the general elections, as they are going to fail in 2015 anyway.
But is architect Ahmadu Sambo a political advantage?
Oh, completely, completely.
What makes him a political advantage to Goodluck Jonathan? Because his base, we saw numerous defections to the opposition.
That is neither here nor there. They have always done that. You see, Kaduna, you must know, is a metropolis and very cosmopolitan in its attitude, just like Lagos. And you can always find people, various NGOs, various groups making noises. When the time comes to decide, those people fizzle out.
Now, let's quickly do a rough political calculations now. Bookmakers are saying the two most populous states are under the control of APC governments. How do you see this playing out for the forthcoming 2015 presidential elections? That's talking about Lagos and Kano.
Those populations, we will eat into them and they'll be surprised.
Now, before we wind down this conversation, now the die is cast and it's the PDP presenting President Goodluck Jonathan as against the APC presenting General Muhammadu Buhari. How do you see this playing out at the forthcoming 2015 elections?
The race with the build-up and the press skewing their reports every now and again, you know, in favor of the downtrodden, which is the APC, it's all right initially, but as the campaign eases off, takes off, and goes to the normal height level of flight, you will find that the PDP has already won the thing before even the close of campaigns.
Are you suggesting that General Muhammadu Buhari is likely to enjoy sympathy votes?
No, I'm saying that they are the downtrodden at the moment, and they don't stand any chance of catching up with us, although you people are shoring them up by your comments, you know, the media people. But we are not in the least bothered because we are just warming up.
We also had a chat with an APC leader, Honorable Alli, on the much ado about the APC's running mate, Professor Osinbajo Yemi. Honorable Adamu says the conduct of the APC's primary has successfully passed the message to the world that it's set to sack the PDP from power come 2015 poll. Take a listen.
Well, if nothing, APC has shown to the whole world that we are true Democrats and that the will of the people prevailed.
Now, when you look at the inability to achieve a consensus, do you see it as a setback, considering the challenge of mopping up the pains of defeat and the cost that must have gone down the drains and the campaign and all that and the build-up towards the final emergence of General Muhammadu Buhari?
Coming from different backgrounds. So, of course, you should expect challenges. You should expect different perspective, different views to how we see things. But eventually, yes, there was there were a lot of rancor, you know, ill feelings from the beginning. But in the long run, the people liked what happened.
Let's look at the challenge of managing what some opposition of your party, some critics, has filled the scandal sheet against your party that is being controlled by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that your party is under the whims and caprices of just one man, which is very, very undemocratic. How would you react to such comments?
You cannot write the history of Nigeria, not only APC, without mentioning Bola Tinubu. So we're happy with his contributions.
Now, when we consider the factors responsible for such perception, we look at the three national conventions that one of it led to the emergence of the national chairman, who has been traced to the fingerprints of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And some other people are also looking at the emergence of the running mate, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who many people believe that he is a protege and a political son of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So how would you react to such allegations against your party?
Tommy Kimi, good riddance. And thank God he's there doing the hatchet job that we think he's doing. And you ask about, I think, was it the
running mate?
The running mate. Now, you said that the protege of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That I don't know. You
what
said
about being his political son?
I said that also I don't know whether he's his political son, but I know he was a commissioner in his government, in his cabinet, and I know that they have been together politically. Yes, I was told that and Bola Tinubu being a governor. In each state, governor happens to be leader of the party and leader of the group. So by the fact that he was a commissioner, yes, Tinubu was his leader, and you cannot have more than one person. Anybody you see is somebody's protege. Simple.
Now, let's look at how Professor Yemi Osinbajo emerged as the running mate for General Muhammadu Buhari. It's been said to be a keenly contested issue where we saw a long list of contenders, and one expects that the person who emerges is likely to be should be a political heavyweight. But that is not seen in the person of Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who many people believe that he's more of a technocrat. And for a party like your party that is grappling to wrestle power from the ruling People's Democratic Party, one would expect that the running mate should be a political plus for General Muhammadu Buhari. So how would you react in this kind of situation?
The final analysis, the final choice, after discussion with opinion leaders and within and outside the party, it was settled for a dark horse. Somebody who is relatively, like probably if you go to my state and say Professor Osinbajo, probably they've never heard of the name. But we, I mean, some of us that are out from our villages, we know who Professor Osinbajo is. And then you do not have to go with the normal politicians all the time. No, this is about knowledge, this is about depth, this is about who can do the job.
Now, some critics of your party has picked holes on the delay in announcing the running mate for General Muhammadu Buhari, and they are saying that if it could take the APC almost 72 hours to adopt a running mate, that what if they are faced with critical issues like insurgency, that is likely going to take donkey years for them to find solutions to such issues. So when you hear such comments, how do you feel?
You need to consult. You need to talk to some people. The difference between us and them, look, they have been running together. They have been wrecking this country together, Sambo and Jonathan. So it's very convenient for the two wrecks to continue together.
And that will be all on this episode of Roadmap 2015. Don't forget to send your comments on our different social media platforms shown on your screen. Join us next week on another exciting episode of the program on Channels Television. Many thanks for watching. I'm Gbenga Ashiru saying goodbye.